We've long speculated that the Acolyte has eclipsed huge financial figures. In fact, we did get a chunk of that with the UK filing that I believe Caroline Reed from Forbes was able to uncover originally. But we all speculated that...
Actually, Vash, Jonas broke that story back in September on that Park Place.
Oh, I do apologize. I want to go ahead and...
That was Jonas's exclusive.
I want to ensure we give proper credit where the credit is due. And I know Jonas has recently uncovered this particular aspect of this story, so we want to go ahead and give proper credit there. But we had seen the initial figures, right? And those were incomplete. Now we have a more complete picture of this incredible story in which the Acolyte, well, they may have blown past $250 million. Let me go ahead and get it on the screen right now so you can all see this amazing article. Again, brought to you by, yes, the RNG Marvin Montenaro, but also Jonas J. Campbell. That Park Place, the Acolyte, true cost confirmed, $250 million for canceled Disney Star Wars disaster. Goodness gracious. September 24, 2025 by Marvin Montenaro. When That Park Place first reported in September that the cost of the short-lived Disney Star Wars show, The Acolytes, had ballooned past $230 million, according to UK tax filings. Many readers wondered just how high the tab really climbed. And now we have the answer. According to That Park Place's Jonas J. Campbell, who first broke the story on Disney's out-of-control Star Wars spending last year. Thank you for setting the record straight on that one, Marvin. That final figure before tax credits and without marketing factored in was a staggering $254 million, according to public record documents in the UK. Campbell posted on X, remember when Leslie Headland said Acolyte cost $170 million? She was correct, if you only count spending through September 2023 in GPB. I can now confirm that the Walt Disney Company spent $254 million on the Acolyte before marketing or tax credits. This is a stunning revelation because, and look, we're That Park Place, right? We are a theme park channel, mostly. And I just think about it from the theme park realm and I go, the state that the theme parks are in, what could they have done with $254 million? But before we get to that side of the conversation, I want to go ahead and start us off by I'll ask you guys, what did they spend $254 million on when it comes to this production? Because I don't see it.
Maybe they were eating lobster and Kobe beef at catering and the costumes had platinum woven into the fabric. I don't know, because this woman took $250 million and then this woman, acted like a stone-faced loser on the screen during it and delivered a show that looked so unbelievably cheap and terrible. The effects were awful. Remember when they did that god-awful space chase in the second to last episode? And it just looked like the trench run in A New Hope looked better than that. So where did all of this money go?
I think it went to her coat. Did you see that puffy coat that she was wearing in earlier?
I'm shocked.
Were they sneaking cash outside in that coat?
That's what it was.
If Harvey Weinstein's former personal assistant Leslie Headland is corrupt, I would be shocked.
Well, and you bring up a good point about A New Hope. We know A New Hope was, I think, less than $20 million, I do believe. That was an extravagant budget back in the day, but now we know that's, basically the catering budget for something of this type of production. $254 million. I'm glad that they, I guess, filmed this in the UK, because I know that they're going to be getting some of that money back. But again, whatever money you do receive back, well, that's largely undone by marketing. Am I mistaken, Marvin?
Yeah, pretty much. You're pretty much right. Just looking at that picture of Leslie Headland, this blockhead has not, and I say that because she's stupid and because her head is shaped like a block, has not directly addressed the failure of this show since it happened. Her wife has come out and blamed everything but the show for the show's failure, because they claim that people watched it, even though there's definitive proof that no one did. And they blame racism.
It seems like Disney themselves wasn't even enthusiastic about the show, because Ron, I'm going to go ahead and go to you. Was there anything Acolyte related being sold in the parks? We know there's Mando and Grogu stuff. We know Ahsoka stuff's in there. Anything on the Acolyte?
Nothing Acolyte sold in the parks. Nothing. No characters from the Manny Jacinto. That was the actor, right? That one actor that just sold.
Yes.
So this was. I found this to be incredibly interesting. We were at MegaCon, and he did a panel by himself. Great guy, seems like a really nice guy. Came up for the panel, and then they had a Q&A afterwards. You want to know how many questions were about the Acolyte?
How many?
0. You know what? All the questions were about the Good Place.
That's funny.
And I liked the Good Place. I thought it was really funny. I thought he did a great job. And actually, I think he had a couple of questions about Jacksonville. That's a couple.
Manny made an appearance at Disneyland, actually, in kind of promotion or filming of some promotional pieces for Freakier Friday. And I did hear somebody say, "Hey, I love doing the Acolyte," but that was like one of just thousands of people that were there that didn't quite know who he was.
He's one of the only cast members that's really commented on this publicly, other than, like this lady and Leslie Headland's wife going off on their tangents about how it's all about racism and sexism. He's commented about it because he's the only one that still has a career after this show.
Yes,
well, the Squid Games guy got to go make more Squid Games. So
yeah, well, but, I mean, of course.
Okay, so when you look at the Acolyte, and I've seen scenes from it on YouTube. I have not seen the entire show at all. Like, not even close. Like why watch this thing? I don't care.
Right.
But here's the thing about it. A lot of times budget will go to pay exorbitant fees to well-known actors. There's none of those in this show. Like, not even
that's
Trinity.
A good point.
I mean, I think they take
the biggest actor in this was Trinity from The Matrix.
Yeah, and she was only in a couple scenes.
Yep.
Yeah. So I mean, that's not where the budget went. So that is the big question of this. That money, where did the budget go? Because it's not in the filming, the sets, the special effects. I mean, I don't know unless they. I mean, how long didn't this take? Like 4 years to get out?
It took a very long time. There were a lot of delays. There were a lot of rumors that production had halted or stopped altogether a couple times. So my buddy sent me a picture from Ollie's the other day. And for those of you that don't know, Ollie's is where merchandise goes to die. It's basically like all the overflow from every other major store gets sold to Ollie's, and then they sell it for like nothing. It was just a sea of OSHA Anastasia figures from the Acolyte.
Oh man, I couldn't think of the names of the characters. I knew OSHA, but I couldn't think of any of the others because this show is that forgettable. And I watched every single episode.
Amanda Stenberg accomplished something really, really great in this series. Mm-hmm. She played 2 characters who shared one facial expression.
Yes, that is true. That is true. And
also, did they not have the exact same haircut, even though they were raised in completely different places and
just different lengths?
Well, remember though,
one was cut by a lightsaber, right?
She had to cut off her hair with a lightsaber real quick, in order to blend in. But yes, effectively the same everything. It is an embarrassment of a production. And so I want to go ahead and shift just a little bit because I think about that $254 million figure. And I think about what that could have been spent on when it comes to the parks. And the immediate thing that comes to mind, because we just covered it actually here on That Park Place, is, well, that could have covered cast members and that settlement, right? That $233 million settlement. That, by the way,
would have had $20 million left over.
Wow. And that's true. Could have covered the interest. That was the largest wage settlement case in California state history. That's how much money we are talking about. It could have paid every single person that you see on the screen right there, protesting for a better living condition. I think about the entertainment cunts that have actually happened and the entertainment fiascos that we've seen, right? We, a paint the night float smoking because it breaks down in the middle of Main Street, USA at Disneyland because, well, supposedly maintenance there is a problem. I think about the equipment that we lost because of some a fire sprinkler issue that disabled that theater for a period of time. I think about the empty Hyperion Theater inside. I think about the empty Fantasyland Theater. That both of these things have been empty for, I think, like 6 years now, off and on. I think about the falling debris from speaker lampposts and so forth, from them not maintaining these parks as well as they should be. And obviously Tiana's Bay Adventure opens in 2024 with no audio animatronics, and the ones that are in there fail constantly. Go ahead, Marvin.
more important than just failing animatronics and guest facing things, the infrastructure at Magic Kingdom and Epcot is failing.
Oh, such a good point. Yeah.
We've seen sewage backups. We've seen sewage leaks. We've seen ceilings fall because of sewage leaks. The infrastructure there is really old. And they have to completely update it. And that $250 million can buy a whole lot of plumbing.
Yes. Here's a montage of all of the entertainment offerings we used to have at Disneyland Resort that now we do not have because of, well, brain dead decisions and paying $250 million for the Acolyte. Marvin is completely right on here. No infrastructure whatsoever at the Walt Disney World. We've now seen 2 power surges take down the entire resort because of that. Go ahead, Ron.
I was just going to say, while that $250 million for the Acolyte is, I mean, honestly, it's a complete waste, like literally throwing $250 million out the door, right? But that is one of so many Iger decisions, especially things that are going on Disney Plus, that have to be in the billions at this point in time. And the waste of money, $70 billion to buy Fox, and they're not even utilizing any of that correctly. I mean, Marvin said that the one thing Iger was good at was spending. I would argue that he's pretty bad at spending. I mean, he's good at throwing away the money.
I didn't say he's spending. He's bad at spending smartly. He's good at spending.
Just throw it away. I mean,
clarification.
I will tell you what, if you don't take him to Vegas with you, because everything he bets on is going to be a loser. That's for sure.
That's a good point right there. I weep for every single other part of this company that is affected by these decisions. That being the parks, that being, movies and franchises that we do like. Star Wars, we love it. We would like all kinds of stuff being developed. Not this. And the fact that they spent $250 million on that production is mind-boggling. And Ron beautifully pointed out right there, they spent $70 billion for Fox, much of that stock options, but they still have about $40 billion they've kept on with debt that they've had to pay interest on every single month, basically, because of these bad decisions right here. Again, just burning away the cash. Go ahead.
Vash, if I can make one examination here. I think that the delays we were talking about with the Acolyte, I think that had a lot to do with jacking the price up, because you still have to pay all these people for all these delays and whatnot, reshoots, all that other stuff. Kathleen Kennedy needs to get a lot of the flack for this budget, because she's the one that ultimately approves the budget.
True.
And I think with the Acolyte, anyone else would have just been like, scrap this, we're not doing it, cancel it. But Kathleen Kennedy, I think, was hell-bent to get this out, because 1, it was a feminist manifesto, and 2, she was tired of announcing projects that never come to fruition. She then continued to announce projects that never came to fruition.
That's a very good point. And there's a lot of blame to go around, not just Bob Iger, like Marvin said, Kathleen Kennedy, Leslie Headland. There's just, there has to be a collective a reckoning of sorts, or at least a realization that this was a bad move. I think there is partially, but man, we all, as guests and as fans and as viewers, have all suffered from it.
Thanks for watching That Park Plays News. For more information, consider checking out www.thatparkplace.com. And don't forget to subscribe, share, like, and send this out on your favorite social media accounts.